I didn't. I didn't really feel that I should, particularly for a special audience. I think what happens is the background changes, technology changes, lots of things. But I thought if I just tell the story as it happened and how I experienced it, um, youngsters who read the book today may still think, "Ah, it's funny. I felt something similar." So what I wanted to see was really that they would connect how I felt rather to what I was experiencing, because now we live in such a different era that it's very hard to communicate how we approach problems when, I mean, many solutions we had today simply didn't exist.
So I just wanted to know that the book is structured around 64 lessons. How does
Mhm.
each lesson reflect not just the chessboard, but real life decision making?
Um, we tried to make the chapters a bit shorter, which is why there are 64 of them compared, let's say, Mind Master.
Yeah.
And, I think that is uh, a good format. It's things are shorter, and you try to explain one point, you mention what happened there, and then you go to the next. 64 lessons, obviously driven by a chessboard and the number of squares. Otherwise, we might have gone for some other number, but with chess, that was the connection. Um, and as I said, what we were trying to do was take my story and give it to a young audience, and that was one of the things. Keep the point is sometimes by the time you come to the end of the chapter, you've kind of moved on from where it began, and the idea was to say, "This is what happened to me. This is how I experienced it. This is what I learned, and this is what I do today," and make it like that.
So I just want to know, like in every chapter, it's ended up with the like different quotes, different
Mhm.
quotations in every end. So
Right.
what is this? What is the exactly idea for these kind of quotes for the younger generation? Because it's very
Probably,
inspiring.
probably just a quick summary, and also a kind of takeaway. uh, some of the things I said, like several times in my life, suddenly some work I did long ago paid dividends. Not when I wanted it to, but when I didn't expect it to. Or, when you're going through some difficult periods, once you come out of them 3 or 4 times, you realize everything's a cycle, it'll come out. Don't panic. But maybe the first crisis you have, you don't know that you're going to come out of the tunnel,
Yeah.
and you experience it differently. So things like that, really, my um, learnings which influence my outlook on life today.
That's really amazing to know about this. So I wanted to know again that the lightning kit comes from the early playing style. When you look back, what do you think that the young version of you got right instinctively?
Probably optimism is the great advantage of youth. You believe that things are going to work out, and in general, life is an accumulation of learning. I mean, not all negative, but enough experiences to make you so-called realistic. But every time I wish I was not realistic, I think of my youth, and in a way, there's a certain innocence and optimism. Especially the very first chapter where I talk about going to the chess club and happily playing. Um, and I really thought that was the best move, and I'm just going to make it. Why do I have to think? And that's when I got this nickname. But over time, I realized um, if I do that, then there can be negative consequences. So let me try to improve that better. And you try to think, but there's something very natural and innocent about it. So that's what I think about in like. I'm not saying you should never go through life learning lessons, but
Yeah.
there's a time of innocence. And again, sometimes we learn too many lessons. Sometimes you just got to say, well, I'm just going to go there and play like a 6-year-old.
Oh. You actually mentioned that your mother gave you the suggestion to write about your thoughts on a daily basis, and you actually did. You write about your thoughts on a daily basis from a very young age, and then you actually mentioned that was the best suggestion from your mother, and that one day when you look back on those papers, on those pages, you will see how life actually reform you. So like for the young generation, what kind of suggestion you want to give, especially during the difficult period of time? And now generation are very much into you can say that in the digital world they might have not been very connected towards the writing. So do you feel that even in the today's time, the younger generation should start writing their own thoughts for the longer, for the longer suggestions or success or clear thoughts? What's your suggestion?
I think there will be some useful learning, but for me, when I read my old notes or some of the emotions I describe after a game or something, what strikes me is how much I've changed along the years. Um, and I'm quite surprised sometimes. Wow, is that how I thought in those days? Was that my outlook in life? That becomes the surprise. And it's surprising. Even I realized even 5 years ago, I felt very intensely about some things, and now life has moved on, and I don't feel intensely about them at all. But knowing that once it mattered very, very much for you, I like something today. Uh, I think that itself is worth the effort of keeping it there.
So now you are often called the like father of the Indian chess boom. So what goes through your mind when you see players like Gukesh and leading the global stage today?
I'm happy that chess has gotten very popular in India. That a new generation is coming up. In fact, several generations have come up, but this current generation is particularly successful. And that Indian chess is in a good place. And knowing that I played a part in that, I'm quite satisfied. I don't pat myself on the back every day, but I'm quite satisfied with that.
So did you actually like give that this kind of suggestion to Gukesh or Pragnandan that you should write notes about your game or after your game about your emotions? Did they actually does all these things like how you did?
Yes, I have uh, mentioned this aspect to them, and also on the chess, even in a more specific chess sense, if you write down how you thought, and then later on you discover the right answer. If you had not written it down, you'll remember that yeah, I actually thought the answer and I was in the ballpark. But when you
So like through the Westbridge Anand Chess Academy, you mentor some of the India's brightest talents. What is the one mindset you try to instill in every young player?
I try to tell them that you just have to keep on practicing. There are no real shortcuts to getting to be a better player. Playing a lot, practicing a lot, and being open to changing your mind about things is long term. It adds up if you do it regularly.
I saw in this book we have like 64 winning lessons. But do you feel someone who don't know about the chess, will they able to learn about the chess, about the moves from the lightning kid?
It's not strictly a chess manual. I mean, there are tons of places you can do that. And if somebody's curious to learn about the game of chess, I'm sure it's just a 5-second thing. You just download the rules, or you get an app and you try it, or you go to a friend and you do it. That's fine. I imagine that my experiences in chess will be valid for people in other walks of life also. I mean, it's one of the things that life teaches you that, in fact, all professions face similar challenges,
Yeah, correct. Like
and you
speed
can
has.
learn from anyone's experience. Yes.
Yes, that's the main thing. Like, if like you are so experienced in so many things with the chess and with the life, and I think we have honor to have you and learn so many things, so many inspiring things from you. So I would like to move forward with the my next question, and which is like speed has always defined your game. You always like you have a name like a lightning kid. You are very famous with your moves. So how do you balance intuition with deep calculation in high pressure movements?
Yeah, the same thing actually. Calculation is what is how you verify that something is correct, and intuition is when you're unable to check it absolutely, and you have to make a practical decision. You go with your feeling. It's a valuable problem-solving tool. Sometimes we may get, you can use calculation to get to maybe within a kilometer of your final destination, but then you kind of have to guess. I suspect it's over there based on what I know so far. I suspect it's over there and try over there, something like that. And the thing is, your intuition doesn't just, it's not something you're born with. All the calculation you do allows you to guess better.
So I think by the time your intuition and the deep calculation always changes, and it gives you the space to learn. So like that's how your intuition and deep calculations work throughout your game.
Pinpoint everything.
Yes.
And you have to sometimes have the courage to follow through on your belief. That's what it tells you.
That's that's a really nice. So I think we should believe on your in ourselves, and then by the time our intuition will work with our
And you should
calculations.
also know when not to depend on it too much. So it's both, in
Yeah,
fact.
that's also right. That's also right. That we shouldn't depend on it on tuition too much. Uh, so moving with the next question, I would like to know that speed has always defined your game, and in a world now dominated by AI and chess engines, what do you think still makes a human player truly exceptional?
So the sport is still played by humans. I mean, AI is used a lot in learning and study,
Yes.
but we still have to go out there and play. So to some degree, what you're trying to do is not take everything AI gives you. You're trying to take a little bit, understand it, put it in a kind of conceptual framework, keep fine tuning your understanding of the game as you go along. What you're
Okay.
really looking for is not these are the best moves. I can apply them here because something will always change.
Hmm.
What you're trying to understand is broader patterns. So you improve your understanding of the game, and then you take that with you. That's, I think, the human element.
When where we're discussing about the AI and the chess engines.
Okay. So AI will throw a lot of information at you, but AI, I mean, computers, let's say, don't actually participate in the game. At that point, it's humans. I think that's the definition of our sport. And so, only what matters is what you understand in a broader sense, not just random facts. In this line, this is good. In that line, that is good, because there are too many points to remember. What is important is that you're able to draw broader conclusions. Learned chess is already a relic of the past because the nature of the thing has changed. But the understanding I have is not. The training methods change, but whatever understanding you can bring, that's the most important thing.
So do you feel like AI and the like chess engines, new chess engines are actually reforming nowadays games? Or I can say
Yes,
that
chess engines.
like
Yeah,
Ukesh or any of your student is learning from like the AI or from the chess engines.
directly or indirectly, whether you use them or not, you're still being influenced by best practice. And so, the most valuable information, you'll eventually be forced to learn it, whether you learn it from someone telling you or you look at the machine yourself.
Tell me, if your young reader picks up Lightning Kid, what is the one lesson you hope stays with them for life and beyond chess?
Ideally, they will find more than one lesson useful. Probably just being flexible and not getting too attached to one conclusion that you learned, but understand that even as you go through life, um, your conclusions about everything will change.
Yeah, that's really inspiring and beautiful to listen about it. So, like, our conclusion and always change in the end, and we shouldn't expect only one conclusion in the life. So, I think readers should stay this kind of solution in their life. So, moving forward with the next question, I would like to know, like, looking at your journey, the new generation you are mentoring, what excites you most about the future of Indian chess?
I basically like the fact that chess in India has momentum now. It's popular, sponsors are getting involved, youngsters are making a name for themselves. And I hope that continues. And I hope chess continues to prosper in India.
Like, I hope all your students know about your book, The Lightning Kid. But I would like to know personally that how Gukesh or any of your students, what kind of, you can say that like expression they have for you, like when they get to know that Vishwanath Anand actually wrote a book on the chess and of course the life lessons.
I mean, they mentioned that they had picked it up and they had read this or that. Some of them might have are familiar with lots of aspects of these stories, so they may know them from multiple sources. But hopefully, it's a new way of telling that story, and they
That's completely true. That's really nice. And if you had to leave like young readers with just one thought from the Lightning Kid, what would it be?
enjoy whatever doing and do whatever you enjoy.
Okay, that's really nice. So as you continue to mentor the next generation, what legacy do you hope to leave behind?
I want to see chess grow and for it to be a meaningful tool that and a sport that enjoy a lot. And I don't really think about my legacy all the time. Let's put it that way.
That's nice. But personally, when I start reading this book, so I just wanted to know what's your favorite chapter in this book?
I like the early chapters because they deal with my childhood.
Yes, yes. I think I completely agree with you because when I start this book, and I felt like I'm actually enjoying your childhood days, how you're writing your notes, and I actually learned all those things. And even I can say that after you suggested, I had a habit to write everything as my notes, but
Mhm.
after you suggested, I feel like everyone should write their own thoughts on a very daily basis. And moving forward, I would like to. I just want
Yes,
you to
and
give.
it's nice because the things you tell yourself privately, uh, you can. I think our brain is constantly remembering what it wants to remember, and so it's nice to have things written down that inform you that things were not always that simple.
Yes,
Because we
that's
tend to romanticize the past a lot, and
yes, that's completely
this is a
true.
nice corrective.
So we shouldn't romanticize our past too much, and we should live in the moment.
Not too much, a little bit is fine.
That's nice. And now I want you to give us, your readers, some kind of message for the Lightning Kid and from the Lightning Kid.
Hopefully, they will take away the sense I had of destiny, the sense of working towards a goal and everything. Um, in the beginning, I hope they will feel my excitement and innocence at the journey ahead. And hopefully, by the time they get to the end of the book, they feel how I feel now, that the journey was more important than the things that happened. You remember the how much something meant to you, the effort you put in. Not necessarily. I mean, the ember is cool, right?
Yes.
You don't know now. Every good result. I mean, you have warm memories, but you don't. It doesn't influence it too much. Um, and every disappointing result, well, it's part of life. You get more philosophical thing, and hopefully that's what they'll take away. That you have to do something to the best of your ability and really want it, and one day you'll be able to look back with a totally different attitude.
That's really nice uh, to take these kind of thoughts with me today, and it's really inspiring. And although I got the book with your sign, so I'm really grateful that I
Mhm.
got this book with your sign, and I'm so
Thank
glad
you.
that I actually met you, e-connect you, and have worked with you regarding about your journey and about your book. And since BooksWagon is a place we sell and market the book and idealize the thoughts about the readers, and we just inspire readers to read more and more and more. So I just want you to always connect with the BooksWagon. And just a small request that please tell our readers that they can buy the Lightning Kit from the BooksWagon.
Hello, everyone. I'm Viswanathan Anand, and I have recently come out with a book called Lightning Kid. Describes my journey in chess, but whether you're a chess player or not, I hope how I felt as I went through life will resonate with you in some way. So purchase your copy with at BooksWagon.
Thank you so much, Viswanathan. And it's so, I'm so glad that today I met you, we connect you with. And it's, you can say that while I always saw your game, like the world-class champion in the chess and with the Gukesh game and the others sports person's game, I always thought like it's so amazing to learn from you and lots of things from get you. So I'm so glad that I connect with you and have word with you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for giving the Bookswagon the opportunity to connect with you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have a good day, sir.
Thank you. You too.